Okay, here's one for you. 1966 Corvette. No hit body, two-owner car. Everything on it functions as it should. The headlights function as they should. Everything inside the car works. Your gauges all work with the exception of the clock. We don't care about that. It did have a set of side pipes on it originally. The wheels were added to this car. Anthony, do you have the original hubcaps and stuff for it or no? You do. The original hubcaps will go with the sale of the vehicle. Paint on the car was done who knows how many years ago, but it's a really exemplary job. Everything lines up as it should. You can see, again, it's a no-hit body, so everything on this car within parameters of Corvette at that era, you know, are just the way it should be. The bonding strips and everything are still intact, even in the front here, where most of them have been cracked, you know, through the years from tires or wheels that are too large hitting it. This guy still has all the original bonding strips on it, which you'll see in the still photography that he has from underneath the car. It does have, like I said, a set of knockoff wheels on it, Kelsey knockoffs, that were repos, but they still had a lot of flair to the car. The windshield is tinted, smoked on top too. How about that? Correct wiper arms and blades for this car. And again, like I say, it is a two-owner car. If you really look, you can see a little tiny bit of cracking in the paint, but you're not going to see it in any of the photography, but I'm telling you it's there. A little tiny bit right here. Obviously, there's nothing on the hood, the fenders, the doors, the roof, none of that. But right there, for some reason, maybe it got a little bit thick when they repainted it, I don't know. But there's a little tiny bit. You have to look to see it in the correct angle and light, but it's there. Single mirror the way they came in 1966 when the car was made. Again, real nice fitment on this guy. Most of these cars had a lot of overhang here. This one does not. And the doors are still nice and tight. You can see they open and shut just the way they should. Again, side pipes, you know, add a lot of flair to the car. It does have a set of headers on it also, which we'll show you once we get under the engine compartment here, into the engine compartment. The car is just as straight and nice and no-hit body that you will ever find in a 66 Corvette, second generation Corvette. Same on the back, everything. These cars were comprised of 36 different fiberglass panels when they were new, and they were all put together with bonding material and bonding strips. So you have everything that was there originally and put on by General Motors is there today, just the way it was. Nothing's been disrupted or cracked at all. Trim around the back window. No marks whatsoever on any of the trim whatsoever. The glass doesn't have any imperfections in it. It's an actual model car too, isn't it, Anthony? I thought it was. You'll see the mileage on the photography that he shows you, the still photography, but there's no cracks on the wooden steering wheel in this car. Tri-spoke, double spokes the way they were from the factory. The car does have an interior, and I bought one in '66 and I thought it had black seats. It doesn't. This is such a dark color of green that you will never distinguish it from black. You have to see it in some kind of bright, direct sunlight to see that it's not a black interior, but it isn't. And it's a high option car in the fact that it does have the headrests on it. Very few of these cars came with headrests, and this guy did. Has a full complement of seat belts, just the way they came in 1966. Door panels, seats, all this stuff is all original. This car never saw a restoration. It did a cleanup underneath and a dust of the paint at some point of its life, but other than that, this car is a no-hit body in every way. Okay, again, everything lines up as it should. There's no cracks on the rear fender lips either, just the way they were when they were new. They're still that way. Correct antenna, power antenna for it. Chrome on the front was absolutely flawless, and we'll show you that once we get up around the front. Back bumpers, the chrome is just flawless on it. Beautiful. And there's no indication that they've ever been changed. I'd say that this is the original chrome on the car. A little bit of patina inside the bezels for the tail lights, backup lights, but that's just normal. The standard lid for 66 for the gas filler door. Everything lines up as it should. The fiberglass panel in the back that was originally a side pipe car, you can see it was not just filled in or anything. It's a real nice job done on that. Paint at this point, I really can't tell you there's any, other than what I saw up front there are no imperfections in the paint, no chips, no marks, no scuffs. It has a real deep luster to it. It's white. It's very difficult to see in photography, but it does have a real deep luster to it. Fantastic looking car. Same on this side. You know, nothing's ever been disrupted in the fiberglass. And these panels were, at this point in time, I think 73 was the first year, 74, 73, they came out with induction molded fiberglass panels that were a lot thicker and a lot heavier. But these were all hand-laid fiberglass mesh at this point in time. Fantastic car. This door operates the same as the other one. You can see the alignment is absolutely flawless on it. It can't be any better than it is. There's no marks on the side exhaust on the car. This side's the same as the other one. Door panels are perfect. There's no cracks or imperfections in them. Original carpeting, original Corvette floor mats. Anthony, did you get a picture of the VINs and everything under the glove box? Okay, you'll see that in the still photography then. But nothing's been disrupted. Again, it's a two-owner car with actual miles on it. Look at this. Door closes just like it should. All the windows line up just like they should in their tracks. Going down the side of this is just amazing. And the same up here. This thing has never been disrupted in any way. Absolutely none. You can feel where the bonding strips come together, and that's it. There's absolutely nothing. Chrome on the front, the same as it was on the back, and it is the original chrome bumpers on the car. I don't see any indication that it's ever been changed. The grille, I don't think, has ever been out of the car. I don't believe that part down there is ever painted. I would guess that the car just had a quick redust on the top of it, and that's probably it. There's no indication of any bodywork whatsoever on the car anywhere, absolutely anywhere. Crossbar in the front, it's still intact. A lot of guys used to take those off. Just a fantastic looking car. We'll open the hood and we'll see what we have under there to show you. By the way, the interior the lights do function in this car also. Okay, you can see it does have a set of headers on the car that go into the factory style side exhaust on it. Now, the shielding that goes on this car, obviously because of the headers, you can't have the shielding around your plug wires. That's non-existent now. But the cap for over here and your side pieces that go down along here, we have that stuff in the Indiana store. Just have to get it put on here. We're doing the video without it, but we're telling you, and we'll get some pictures of it. Obviously, we'll add to the photography that Anthony has, but we do have the trim for the shielding for the distributor and side pieces. So we'll be able to show you that. And the motor is correct in the fact that it's a period correct engine. The original motor, which you will also get the piece of the block that shows the serial numbers of the block and the ID on the block, plus the casting number. We're not cutting that off, but we are cutting the piece off the original block that suffered a catastrophic failure. I mean, I can't even tell you how bad it was, but it, if anyone wants to know exactly what happened, and kind of diagnosed it, and we figured out what actually happened to the engine, but after it had been in storage for quite some time, it suffered a failure that the block can't be renewed or replaced or rejuvenated in any way. So it's junk. You got a new motor in here now. You're going to get the original piece off the block to show that this was an original numbers matching engine. Everything under this engine compartment is just the way it was. Nothing's been re-tagged. On your aluminum radiator, that's still the original tag that came with it in 1966. Nothing's been rattle canned or anything under here. Everything looks to be 100% original. It's just a fantastic car. It does not have power brakes. Of course, it does have disc. We know that. But it does have power steering, which most of these Corvettes didn't at that point in time. But this guy does have power steering. It does have headrests. It does have tinted glass. It's a heck of a nice car. It's available at Fox Chapel Autosport. And if you have any interest in it, which I'm sure a lot of people will, this car is available for sale now. We are going to put the shielding on it. We are going to put the shielding on it, and then it'll be a complete car again. And you will get the original piece showing that it had the original numbers matching motor in it with a 2-owner documentation for the car. We're going to take it for a quick ride and show you that the car does drive and function as it should. And then when we get back, we'll do another quick walk around, show you what we can again about the car. But we are going to show you at this point that it does run and perform like it should.
We'll just keep filming and go for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you noticed or not, whenever we do these videos, but there are a few more cars here that are available for sale. And every one of them is a #1 car. We don't have anything that isn't the way it should have been from the factory. Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Oh, it is not. 100 degrees here today. You can hear how it starts. Shifter's nice and tight. It's a long shift. You can set the shift arm so that it makes it a short shift. I always had mine short shift, but this guy's long, but it's nice and tight. It's nice and smooth. Has a nice neutral gate to it. And we got power steering too. Don't have to do Armstrong steering. You see the gauges are all functioning. The tag functions as it should. They all jump. That's something you can't do away with. You know, it's just something that was inherent to the vehicle. We're out in the sunlight here now. I'm going to sneak out here so nobody takes my nose off. Nice tight car. These coupes usually rattle some. This one does not. It absolutely doesn't rattle. It's as tight as can possibly be. It's a very nice car. Go ahead. Yeah, I know you took both lanes. So yeah, I had no choice. And this guy's turning too. That guy's turning. I guess I go. Feels like about a 336 gear in the car. I think that was pretty much standard back then. You could get 308. Of course, you get anything you wanted, but this one feels like it's a good gear. 336s would be good made up for a 300 horse 327. And again, all the turn signals and everything function as they should. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I can. And gas gauge is working, battery's working, carrying good oil pressure, temperature gauge just starting to come up. We didn't go very far, a mile and a half maybe. Woo. I think I'll coast back a little. That's a nice car. You know, out here in the sunlight, you can almost tell it's a green interior, but it is so midnight dark green. You know, Chevy used to have a color that was called Fathom Green, and that's what color this interior is. And you have to see it in the sunlight to know that it's not black. Look at this. Everything on this car is as it should be. You just saw us drive the car. You just saw how it functioned. Again, we can't really crank it real hard. We're in a residential district here, so got to use a little discretion or a jail sentence, although I don't think there's any death penalty for it yet in PA. But it's a fantastic car, and it's available at the Autosport in Fox Chapel, Pennsylvania. 2 owners. It's just a car that you're not going to duplicate. And this guy, you can take it and drive it anywhere you want to go. It's a fantastic car. Like I said, there's a few other ones laying around down here that you might have an interest in when you watch the video. So we got a little bit of everything to show you. And right now our guest was this guy, and we just did a presentation for you on it. And if you're a Corvette buyer or interested in a Corvette Coupe, you better pay attention to this one, because this one's not going to last very long. That's a very exemplary car for a 1966 Corvette and a Coupe.